Hello everyone, welcome to Barca News. It's April 11th, 2023, and it's reported that Gavi's agents have met with Chelsea's representative to discuss a possible move for Gavi to the Premier League. Also, we now have a date for when Joan Laporta will present the results of the internal investigation in regards to the Enriquez Negreira case. And finally, it looks like Barcelona could make some money off the transfer of the French center-back Jean-Claire Todibo. We have a lot to discuss, so let's begin. Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Mo. And before we begin with the news, I would like to remind all of you that if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please consider subscribing. It's free, it only takes a second, and in doing this, you will be helping this small and humble channel continue to grow. Also, if you're looking to buy some Barcelona jerseys or Barcelona merchandise, make sure you hit the kit bag where they have the biggest selection of football jersey and merchandise from all the major leagues of football around the world. The link is down below in the description. Now, I'll begin with the news that preparations have begun as Barcelona are getting ready to face their next opponent in La Liga in what will be match day number 29, which is Getafe. And it's reported that even though Frenkie de Jong was going to be starting in that match, Barcelona have now decided not to include Frenkie de Jong in the squad list because they don't want to rush him back and they don't want to risk the player getting re-injured. Now, it seems that there was also talks about Pedri maybe coming back for that match as well, and Barcelona have taken the same decision in regards to Pedri, where neither him nor Frenkie de Jong will be included in the squad list for this upcoming weekend because Barcelona don't want to risk rushing these two players back. Now, in regards to Ousmane Dembele and Andreas Christensen, reports are now stating that both players will not be back until the end of the April or maybe even beginning of May, which of course is not good news for Barcelona, because it looks like the injuries of these two players are extending beyond what was initially expected. Now on to the news that the media outlet in Spain, AS, dropped a huge bombshell today reporting that Gavi's agent, Ivan de la Peña, met with representatives from Chelsea in Madrid a few days ago in order to discuss a possible move of Gavi to the Premier League. Now, of course, Gavi's registration has been cancelled by La Liga as a first-team player, so he's now gone back to his under-19 youth team contract, which it does expire at the end of the season. So if Barcelona cannot renew Gavi's contract and register that contract, then Gavi will become a free agent come this summer. Now, it looks like Chelsea are very interested in signing Gavi, and as such, they sent emissaries or representatives to Spain where they met with Gavi's agent Ivan de la Peña in Madrid in order to discuss a possible move of Gavi from Barcelona to the Premier League. Now, it looks like the reason Ivan de la Peña did this is because he is worried that Barcelona might not be able to register Gavi's contract come this summer, since Barcelona do have to reduce their wage bill by 200 million euros before they can register any contract. And as such, he decided to meet with Chelsea so he can have a plan B for Gavi in case the registration of his contract does not happen. It's also reported that Chelsea are interested in bringing Gavi to Chelsea since Luis Enrique will most likely be their new head coach. And of course, it will be a great asset for Luis Enrique to have someone like Gavi, given the style of play that Luis Enrique likes to employ. Now, Barcelona have reported that they are aware that Ivan de la Peña has met with Chelsea representatives, and Barcelona are also very confident that Gavi will be remaining at Barcelona because Gavi has made it known to the club on several occasions that his only intention is to remain at the club. And Barcelona are also very confident that they will be able to register Gavi's contract come this summer. Now, just like Barcelona, I too understand why Ivan de la Peña did this. After all, it's his job to make sure his client always has a team to play with. So it makes sense why he met with Chelsea to make sure that Gavi has a plan B in case Barcelona can't register the contract of the player. So I'm not too worried about this meeting between Chelsea and Gavi's agent because, again, Gavi has made it very clear that he wants to remain in Barcelona. Barcelona have made it clear that they will register his contract. So I'm not too worried, but of course, there's always a concern that Barcelona might not be able to reduce their wage bill by enough in order to register Gavi's contract. But nonetheless, I am confident in Joan Laporta and his board of directors. Now, since we're on the topic of Gavi's registration, I do want to say this. Today, I watched the Champions League quarterfinal between Manchester City and Bayern Munich, which was a very entertaining match, tactically speaking. And when you watch these kind of matches, you realize how much the quality of La Liga has declined these past few seasons. And all of that is thanks to La Liga's president Javier Tebas, who continues to drive talent away from the Spanish league. Now just look at what Tebas is doing with Gavi, where he's constantly fighting Barcelona over the registration of the player, risking that Gavi could end up leaving the Spanish league. And if that does happen, not only will La Liga lose one of the most promising young talents in the world, but they would also lose the sponsorships, viewerships, and merchandise sale that Gavi generates. In other words, La Liga would be losing millions of euros in profits. Now, this is something that I don't understand about Javier Tebas, where with his obsession of screwing over Barcelona, he's also screwing over the Spanish league, which he should be protecting and promoting. And this is why Tebas' presidency should come to an end. Now, on to the news that we now have an official date on when Joan Laporta will present the findings of the internal investigation that Barcelona have conducted in regards to the Enriquez Negreira case. Now, as we've talked about many times before, Barcelona are currently caught in a scandal where it was revealed that they had hired the former referee Enriquez Negreira as a consultant for the club, which is of course nothing out of the ordinary, where all La Liga clubs hire former referees so they can advise them in regards to the rules of La Liga. But what's scandalous about this situation is that when Barcelona hired Enriquez Negreira, he was also the vice president of the committee of referees. Now, there's currently no evidence that Barcelona attempted to bribe any referees or buy any kind of influence when they hired Enriquez Negreira. But nonetheless, the prosecutor's office in Spain have filed corruption charges against Barcelona and several of the former board of director members that were in power at the time when this hiring did happen. Now, Barcelona have launched an internal investigation to try to figure out what exactly happened with Enriquez Negreira, with the payments, and what exactly went on with all the services that Enriquez Negreira supposedly provided for the club. And it's now being reported that Joan Laporta will present the results of this internal investigation to all the club members on April 17, 2023. Now, during this meeting, Joan Laporta will, of course, reveal all the results of the investigation. He will answer any questions that the club members have. And it's also reported that he will be revealing names of people who are responsible for this whole fiasco, of this whole chaos. So I will definitely be there watching what's going on during this meeting, and I will definitely be ready to report to all of you everything that goes on to the meeting, so make sure you stay tuned to the channel. Now, as I said in previous video, what I really think happened in the Enriquez Negreira case is that Enriquez Negreira and other members of the club were stealing from Barcelona, using the hiring of Enriquez Negreira as an excuse. So in other words, they would pay Enriquez Negreira 7 million euros. Enriquez Negreira would produce some false reports, and then they would split the money in order to take money away from the club under the disguise of paying for the services of a consultant. And I really think that's the real scandal of what happened. Not that Barcelona bribed referees or trying to buy any kind of influence. And now the investigators of the Enriquez Negreira case, these investigators who were hired by the Spanish government, are now leaking to the press the same exact news that what really went on here was misappropriation of the funds of several members of the board of directors. And all of this was just to steal money from the club. And I really think that's going to be exactly what the investigation will reveal on April 17th when Joan Laporta meets with the club members. But of course, you're not going to hear about any of this in the mainstream media. The mainstream media, for the longest time, all they were cared about was spreading the false narrative that Barcelona were bribing referees and trying to buy influence. And once the prosecutor's office, the treasury in Spain, and everyone else said that there was no evidence of this, all of a sudden the story died in the news, and now you're not going to hear about that. What really happened was that people were stealing from the club, because nobody's interested in that. All the mainstream media in Spain are interested is defaming Barcelona and make it seem like Barcelona only won trophies because they bribed referees and bought influence through the hiring of Enriquez Negreira. Now, I personally cannot wait for April 17th and for the results of this investigation, because I want the truth to come to light, and I want all of those responsible to end up in jail, because what happened during the Bartomeu era was absolutely shameful. And now we see the results of that, with Barcelona going through their worst financial situation since the club was founded. Now on to the news that Robert Lewandowski has joined the chorus of the growing players of Barcelona who want to see Lionel Messi back. And during an interview, he said, if he comes back to Barcelona, it will not only be for the fans, but for the players something amazing, because his place is here in Barcelona. I don't know what's going on. I hope that next season we can play together, because I know that Leo is the guy who can create something from nothing. And of course, we need those kinds of players for sure. For me, I say that Lionel Messi always belongs to Barcelona. Now, I'm not surprised by Robert Lewandowski's statements because, of course, who wouldn't want to play with the best player in the history of football? And can you only imagine what Lewandowski and Messi playing on the same team would look like, with Lionel Messi making those passes to Robert Lewandowski so the Polish striker can score them? Because all due respect to Rafinha, Ferran Torres, and Ansu Fati, but receiving passes from Lionel Messi is not the same as receiving passes from those three players. Now, Lewandowski did make some surprising statements during this interview. While he has revealed that he has been playing with some pain and discomfort after receiving that very hard knee from Militao in El Clásico in his back. And in regards to that, Lewandowski said, "I had a blow against Madrid, but I always want to play. In the second half against Madrid, it was complicated. I should have asked for the change. Yesterday, I woke up and I couldn't walk, but I tried to play without problems. We work with the physios. It's part of football. I always try to be ready for my teammates. The good thing is in the next game, I'll be fine. On the field, I have to play better, but that kick from Militao left my body bad." And these are surprising statements by Robert Lewandowski, who has revealed that during the second half of El Clásico match, in the Copa del Rey, and even the match yesterday against Girona, he had to play with pain and discomfort after receiving that very hard knee in his back from Militao during El Clásico, which the referee did not punish the Real Madrid player. Now, I really think that referees should pay more attention to this, because receiving a knee in the back is not only very painful, but it's also very dangerous for the player receiving it. As we can recall, during the 2014 World Cup, Neymar received a knee that saw him miss the rest of the World Cup, and where doctors revealed that had that knee blow landed 1 millimeter in different direction, then Neymar could have ended up paralyzed and his whole football career would have come to an abrupt end. Now, we'll end today's video with the news that Barcelona could end up making some money off the transfer of the French center back Jean-Claire Todibo. As some of you might recall, Todibo used to play for Barcelona. He had a very short stay at the club where it didn't work out because of discipline issues, so Barcelona ended up offloading him, and he's currently playing for the Ligue 1 team Nice, where Todibo is having a fantastic season, and as a result, there's a lot of clubs interested in signing him, including PSG, who are reportedly willing to pay millions of euros in order to sign the French center back. Now, Barcelona, when they offloaded Jean-Claire Todibo, they included a clause in his contract that would allow him to make 20% of any future sales. So since Todibo does have a market value of 30 million euros, if Nice were to offload him for that much, then Barcelona could earn up to 6 million euros off this transfer, which is of course great news for the club, because we currently need as much money as possible in order to register the contracts of the players that we have renewed, and in order to sign players to reinforce our squad. So that is it for today. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please give me a like. Also, I'd like to invite all of you to please leave a comment down below, giving me all your thoughts and opinions about all the news that I share with you. And finally, I would like to invite all of you to please subscribe to the channel so you can stay current on all the latest news in regards to our beloved club, FC Barcelona. Thank you for watching. I will see you in the next video. And as always, Visca Barça.